Steinberg, I'm Danny Blomster, and we're here to talk AL standings predictions for the end of the year. Starting with the AL East, who do you think takes it?
That's a tough one because there's like literally 3 teams in there that have a chance. That's Baltimore, Boston, and Toronto. I think it's going to come down for the trade deadline. Baltimore isn't first right now, but you never know if Toronto making a big move. They can come back, and they have a really good offense. It's to see if their pitching can follow them up, and they have a good chance of
So are you
winning the
taking
division.
Toronto in the East?
Yeah, I'm going to go take Toronto in the East.
Toronto is probably my pick in the East as well, because they, even in Rogers Center, which is a big hitter's ballpark, they have the best ERA in the division, I believe, with 3.76 ERA as a team. And when you consider the Orioles are up in the 4.35 range, that's a significant difference. And then you have Donaldson, Encarnacion, Bautista. Colabello was suspended, but then you got Saunders, and all these players are 800 OPS and above, and that leads to runs. So I take the Blue Jays. But you got to consider that the Red Sox could really use a pitcher at the trade deadline, and they have a lot of tools in their minor league system. Do you think they're going to try to do that?
Yeah, I think they have good tools. They have to make a pretty good big move for the pitching rotation. They have a definite chance to win the wild card, but I don't see them going to win the division for first place in the AL East.
That's understandable. Moving on to the AL Central, who do you think takes the AL Central, Andy?
Cleveland for sure. They already have a 6.5 lead over the Detroit Tigers. If they just stay hot throughout the second half, they'll breeze and they'll get and win the division.
I think that Cleveland rotation is absolutely phenomenal. That they have 4 guys who they can really trust in and day out. Even though they're young pitchers, they have been producing all season. When you consider Trevor Bauer, Carlos Carrasco, Danny Salazar, and Corey Kluber. And Corey Kluber has had one of the best years in Indians history a couple years back. So you gotta keep that in your back pocket. I think that the Indians run away with this because they get more offense in the trade deadline, because that's huge. If they don't get more offense, they could be in trouble, because that lineup is not going to produce many runs if they don't have anything more. But I'd say my runner-up option would be probably Kansas City, because they still have a lot of talent on that team, and they could really make a run. What about the AL West? Who do you have winning that? We know the Rangers are up 5.5 games, but Houston really made a run last year. Who do you think takes it?
Well, it's actually kind of a tough one. I know, as you said before, Texas does have a nice lead, but Houston's also been playing a hot baseball recently, and you never know. Maybe the Rangers can start going down a little bit. In Houston and a hot pace, I think they have a chance, and I have a feeling that Houston, the Astros, are going to end up winning the West.
You make really good points, Andy. I still got to go with Texas though, because of that 5.5 game lead. You're playing the percentages games, and you have 5.5 games up, and you have a team that's equally talented to the Astros and the Rangers. And I think it's hard to gain 5.5 games in 80 games, and I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, but I'm going to say it's improbable. There's a good chance, but it's under 50%, so that's why I take Texas. That wraps it up for our AL predictions. Have a nice day. Back to you, Bobcasters.